Good morning, and Happy New Year's to all, or everybody at Creighton University. I'm wearing my Creighton University colors and sweatshirt. And it's that time. I've actually completed 40 semester hours. My e-portfolio, pretty much everything is completed. I'd like to welcome you all. First, I'd love to show you that, yes, it does not rain every day in the beautiful Northwest. As you can see here, it's beautiful out, probably about a brisk 30 degrees, and I did go running this morning to fill that east wind, which was very cold, and it felt a little cooler than 30 degrees. However, I know you're used to it out there. Now, this part of the presentation, I'm hoping this could be our introduction. I am using TaskStream. I'm old school. TaskStream paralleled the system we use for teacher evaluations in the state of Washington. So this is the part on my goals and my objectives, especially for this program. I went in this thinking, it was really the challenge I wanted. I don't think there's a real neat path for me. I'm in education. It's not like I'm going from teaching to administration to district office and then becoming a superintendent. Some of those things I've done. I have been an athletic director. Well, I have been a teacher, coach, athletic director, associate principal, and now I teach online. And there's a story about that. I really loved my years in education. It's been 20 years, and my path was pretty straightforward, going from teaching for 14 years. Then I went into administration. Eventually, I did get a job. It took a couple years to get a job as an administrator and athletic director. Went great. I actually worked for a principal that was the husband of a lady I did my administrative internship. It just so happens, I did my administrative internship at a school with a bunch of fantastic leaders, very seasoned, very helpful, very patient, threw me in the fire, let me lead, let me make my mistakes, but talked to me and supported me. And it was a fantastic experience. I really enjoyed it. Then I did eventually get that a couple years later. I think it was like 2 years later. I did get that administrative position with her husband. Went great. Liked the administrative team we had. Loved the kids. Loved the teachers that we had. It's quite a difference going from a big school district to a small school district. The one thing, the comment I can make about that, I felt much more vulnerable. If people didn't like you, they could possibly try to get rid of you. However, it came to a point where we got a new principal, and that's when it was really difficult. It was probably it was the worst year I ever had in education. We were totally different leaders. She was a micromanager, wanted everything done the way she wanted it, had very little experience in education, only taught a year and a half. And I was a servant leader. I wanted to serve those that I was evaluating, both teachers and coaches. So we just had different ways of doing things. So, hence, a couple of years later, it's been 6, 7 years after that. I teach online. It's helped me especially become more technologically savvy. Help many kids with many different backgrounds, which has been fantastic. However, my journey through the program at Creighton has pointed out many things. I have many different interests and many different people that I want to serve. The one thing I do know is I want to be a servant leader wherever I end up. Do I think I'm going to continue to teach online until I finish my career? Possibly. It's a good gig. I really enjoy it. However, I can't really pinpoint exactly what I'm going to do after this program. And I have to admit, I'm becoming saddened by the fact that we're getting closer to the end. My cohort 13, they've been very supportive, fantastic. We text, we call. When we're back in Omaha, we talk about about life and just get together. So the great thing about that, and I want to compliment Creighton on this, it has been much more a collaborative journey how we're working together instead of a competitive journey. And I think this is one reason that many programs have such low retention rates in their doctoral programs, that it's so competitive, it's cutthroat. I've never felt that way. I felt this has been a intellectual challenge that I haven't really been consumed with the grades per se, but it's more with, do the assignments, do the discussions, do the group projects. Do they consume me? Do they make me think? Do they make me want to think? Instead of when I was an undergrad jumping through hoops. You know, when I received my master's degree from University of Portland, I did that really to get at the top of the pay scale, again, move up. However, this has been a different journey. This has been, like I wrote in my 809 reflection paper, it's confronting a lot of darkness that I experienced when I was younger, that had to do with my parents' divorce, and really discovering that I wanted so much more in life than my parents, my siblings. That darkness, though, instead of lead me towards a path of, drugs, alcohol, or something like that, it's been a motivator. And I've really become motivated to, accomplish great things. So, with that being said, I look forward to the opportunity to get candidacy, which I'm hoping to do here in January, since it's January 1st now. Taking the next step, I'm coming out in February and doing everything I can to where I can propose it when I'm there. I'm flying out February 5th to the 8th. And then from there on out, continuing to take classes, continuing to work on my dissertation, especially chapters 3 on, the surveys I've got ready. I took another elective class to get those surveys ready to where I had a pool of them to choose from. And then, that next steps of getting those approved, getting those surveys out there, and then completing the last part of my dissertation. But again, the goals, I have many different interests. I wrote about marriage and divorce. Very interested in that. Evidently, I'm very interested in education. There's also a soft spot in my heart, believe it or not, that has to do with the National Football League. And with that being said, I was able to do some research on the issues with concussions with players. And I have a totally different perspective on the National Football League now as an older adult. As a younger person, I was like, yeah, let's play, let's get them to play. But I didn't really put myself in their shoes to where these young kids, really what they are now, are laying it on the line every week. Many of these young folks, 4, 5, 6, 7 concussions. And they don't really understand the long-term impact of that. I do. Okay, I have had numerous concussions when I did play baseball and football. And again, I do have a soft spot in my heart for those folks. That's of interest to me too. I actually read the book League in Denial and some research that was done on concussions. So that's something I'm also very interested in. So, I have a lot of interests, but I don't want to be limited. The one thing I did not like when I went into administration was the fact that I worked for a district that handcuffed you. You were so limited. And again, sorry about my dog. Let me shut my door real quick. I was so handcuffed by where I could work, what I could do, etc. Really, I felt, in all honesty, like an overpaid babysitter because of my personality as a coach and a kind of, a little bit rough around the edges teacher. Because we were at a tough school, you kind of had to be tough. What I did mostly was discipline. Which was fine with me because that's part of it. But, sometimes you become labeled as a jock, even in your older ages when you teach, when you're administrator, etc. Again, thank you for this opportunity. Again, my goals, it's not real straightforward. However, once I finish the program, I'll continue to teach online. I just think there's some bigger things. And I also think I do have a story to tell. rich, especially with people that have had an imprint on my life, including many people in this program. So again, thank you for the opportunity.